What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. I was talking about how I'm anticipating we get a drop in the beginning of August yesterday, right? That was the last Bitcoin video I made. I'm pretty sure I included it in that. I was expecting that we get some kind of drop. Coinbase next maintenance. How do you spell maintenance? Yeah, there we go. Maintenance day. Coinbase next maintenance day. They're having a 4-hour period. Oh, Coinbase. Coinbase has a system-wide scheduled upgrade planned for Saturday, August 2nd, 2025, starting at 7 a.m. Pacific time. According to Coinbase, the upgrade is expected to last approximately 4 hours. Most of the time, in my experience with these maintenance things, these upgrades, whatever, they last longer than they intend them to. Okay, just so you're aware. During this time, some services like on-ramp, off-ramp, UIs, quote APIs for crypto-backed loans will be unavailable. Also, if I remember reading, I read correctly, if I remember reading this correctly yesterday, trading will also be down. You won't be able to trade, and you can check that out on Coinbase.com itself. But I'm pretty sure trading will be down as well. Deposits, withdrawals, buys, sells. So there's going to be a 4-hour or more period where the second largest crypto exchange in the world is down. Typically, moments like this are whenever crazy things in the price action happens. So book that on your calendar. Be aware for that. Anybody who's leverage trading out there, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but maybe don't on the second, because anything can happen, man. That, in my opinion, what would happen is, we're probably going to pump going into the end of this month, and then on the second, boom, massive, like super fast, wicked crash. And then we probably continue to rally after that, right? And if it's at 7 o'clock Pacific time, 7 a.m. on the 2nd of August, that would be well into the day of Tuesday. So that would be, what would that be? I want to say that'd be like the 13th hour of Tuesday is when that would be, right? The 13th, it'd be like the 13th to the 17th hour or the 18th hour, depending. A good bit of these times, these updates do take more time than they initially planned them to. Just making you aware, right? That doesn't mean we have to dump. That doesn't mean we have to pump. That doesn't mean anything crazy has to happen. But almost always it does. In fact, I can't think of a moment where we went through a maintenance or an update with Coinbase and it didn't result in crazy wicked price action that did something like this, right? Where you just dump all the way down and then you came back up in that same day. Whatever it is, whatever happens, whether it's a pump or a dump, expect the price to regulate afterwards, right? I'm thinking that's probably what's going to happen. But I'm thinking it's going to be a dump because I expect we'll move up into the end of July into August. So then start off the month with a little dump, wicked dump, and then come back up and correct and move on up. That would be my expectation. Why is it that the price action moves so crazy whenever these maintenance things, these updates happen? My theory is just, if it's the second biggest exchange in the world, you just have a whole lack of volume that's just missing essentially from the crypto industry. So it's easier, way easier at that point to move the price. So I'm just saying, and maybe it won't be as big as I'm making it out to be. Maybe it'll be less significant, but I wouldn't be surprised if something at least happened, and probably to the downside is going to be my guess. But maybe we pump too. I don't know. That'd be fine. But exactly why I think anybody and everybody who's leverage trading maybe don't do it at all, but also just don't on the second. Maybe just wait and let it play out. 9 hours, 3 minutes left. Moving on from that, okay. 9 hours, 3 minutes left in this day here. 118.4K is the price. If we're looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, we have been range bound as hell, you guys. Very tradable, actually. Very tradable. If you're selling the highs and buying the lows and you're anticipating higher highs and higher lows, you're probably doing all right. There's been several tradable moments. I'm wondering if here, because we do have the higher high, I'm wondering if here we will pop back down. This is the one time, if you're looking at this, we actually have a good bit of volume coming in. And it's a Sunday, and we have a good bit of volume coming in. We also have bounced off the 50, where none of these times did we bounce off the 50. Every time that we've gotten up here, I feel like it looks more and more convincing that we're going to break out to the upside. But we're at that point where we would probably reject just from what we've been doing over the past day now. So don't get your hopes up or don't get discouraged if you look at the price or you're watching this video and the prices back down a little bit, right? We could drop $400 from here. It's very possible. Find support there and then continue to move up. But I would think that we do move up. That's my expectation. I think that we are on our way to higher prices. We kind of have this, like, maybe from back here. We've kind of got this trend coming down, something like that. Maybe it's not from back there. Maybe it's from back here. Something like that, you know. And we're getting close to touching it, but that's at like 118.7K. I'm anticipating that we break out of this to the upside because 1, 2, 3, 4 touch points. This is the 5th touch point. I would think that we break out of it, but it is the weekend. We don't have to break out. You know, it is the weekend, but sometimes Sundays can be rather exciting. Looking at the RSI, I'm definitely bullish on the RSI. Looking at the volume, I'm bullish on the volume and the candle. Obviously, I mean, we got 1 minute and 25 seconds left in this candle. It's a bullish looking candle. But if we were to come back down a good bit and show a wick by the end of this candle in the next minute, I mean, I guess that would be very suggestive that we do return to the base of this range here. 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour RSI is neutral but bearishly inclined. But there's some bullish optimism going on here, right? Because you've got lower highs. Okay, that's why it's bearishly inclined. Lower highs, lower lows. All right. Neutral because you're not really in a bullish or bearish area of control. But then the optimism to the bullish effect comes in because every time you found resistance up here, you just move down like this, right? You see how you're moving down? You see how here you're not really doing that? I mean, maybe you just haven't done it yet, but even then, you know, even if you were to reject down here, you've got this little like shelf of just sidewaysness, which you didn't have on any of these movements right before you dropped. It's different behavior, and I like to say different behavior gets different results. So if we are moving up here, if we're breaking out of this little downtrend, and we get into the overbought zone, if we're getting into the overbought zone, you guys, we should be seeing prices that are, I would think, on our way to about 120K or more. Today really could close the highest daily close that we've ever seen in Bitcoin's history. It really could be today. If not today, then I think we're getting set up for tomorrow to be good. It is the beginning of a week tomorrow, so don't be surprised if we start the week off. You know, I'm thinking next week will be a green week, so typically, just with my superstition here, this isn't really backed in any kind of probability. Maybe there is a probability to it, but it's more of like a superstition. Is that, you know, if there's going to be a green week, I anticipate we'll start off the week to the downside, right? You get a wick to the downside during a green week. You get a wick to the upside during a red week, and a wick implies that in the beginning of the week you go the opposite direction of where the week closes. So I'm expecting a green weekly close tomorrow. You know, in 8 hours 59 minutes, that's the beginning of the week. Maybe we shake out a little bit to the downside. But maybe we don't. I mean, if we look at this on a weekly time frame here, you know, green week here, wick to the downside, red week there, wick to the upside. You have wicks both ways, to be completely fair. And if you're looking at all these green weeks, there are wicks to the downside as well, here as well, here as well. This one didn't have a wick to the downside. That one did not have a wick to the downside. You know, it's not a guarantee. It doesn't need to happen. But again, statistically, I suppose it is a probability. Man, I got to drink some water. Looking at the daily time frame again, I think the daily RSI is bullish. We've got higher lows and higher highs throughout the whole thing. We've got lower lows here in the RSI, relatively speaking. We've got higher lows in the price, relatively speaking. We got overbought, and we are finding support between the 60 and the 50, which is fine. That's actually a very bullish look in itself, and we're aimed toward the overbought zone. So I would expect, you know, regardless of what tomorrow brings, up or down, whatever, I would think that by the end of next week, we should be in that overbought zone on the daily RSI again. And when we're in the overbought zone, that's when the magic starts to happen, right? The last time we got overbought, we saw this move. The time before that, when we got overbought, we saw this move. The time before that, we saw this move. You see what I'm saying? So those movements are rather robust in a 3 to 5 day period. And anything of the liking to that would probably take us, not probably, it would take us to new all-time highs. And once we get to new all-time highs, guys, I don't think we're stopping until we're near, if not above, $140,000. So we're very mature in this consolidation phase here. We're very, very ready to break out, and I think we're going to. It could be today. It could be today that we really start to close at new all-time highs as far as closing prices go. Maybe not closing at new all-time highs, but just having a new daily high close. But you never know. I mean, Sundays sometimes can be rather robust, but I'm thinking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those days are normally the days that we like to break out and do things. So over the coming days, we should see some exciting stuff happen in the price. I've got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Mark August 2nd on your calendar for some likely, why can't I talk? It's the morning. For some volatility. Mark August 2nd on your calendar for some volatility. Likely for some volatility. I don't know how to phrase that any better. All right. Bye-bye.